is the second Sunday of Easter, so it's going to be a big month for us. It's called Say What. We're tackling many sort of problems or issues that people have when it comes to God. We're going to be talking about judgmentalism. We're going to be talking about why bad things happen to good people. We're even going to be tackling the issue of being angry at God. Many people are angry at God and have had horrible things happen in their life. Well, these are the sort of things that we're going to be talking about that month. It's going to be Good morning, Calvary. Everybody doing okay? What a wild week. A weird, odd thing. Listen, everybody needs to, we're witnessing history. Don't forget, this is historic, what's been going on in our nation. You don't need me to tell you, what you should do or not do, precautions that you should take. We should press forward and have church, and that's okay. That's all right. People need to make decisions for themselves. They don't need their pastor to be telling them what they should. You guys are. Special offering. That's what you see on the side of the stages. We're asking everyone who calls Calvary home to consider giving above and beyond your normal giving, your normal offering, to support these two big events that we're doing this year, the Life Action Conference, May 17th through the 20th. I'm asking you to be a part of it. We've done it before. We've seen God do amazing things, and this is like a shorter version of what we had a couple of years ago. We're also going to the Dominican on a mission trip. So far, this is still on. This organization that we're going with has canceled all of their mission trips through May. They've just nixed them, called them off because of you know why. But so far, we're still good as it stands today. So today is simply this. We are called to be a believing community. We are called to be a believing community. This sermon was on the docket 8 months ago for this day, and I'm telling you, it's the timing has just been so of God that we are in this text, that we're in this part of Moses' life, given what is happening in our world and our country and everything else. But you are called, if you follow Jesus, if he is the Lord of your life, to be a member of the believing community. Believe, we're called to trust, we're called to hope. We are called to be a believing community. And so let's take a look at the word. Exodus chapter 4. Now, we left Moses last week, was the burning bush where he was at Mount Sinai. God called to him and told him, I'm sending you, Moses, to be like a tool in my hand to go get the people of Israel, to free them out of the hand of Egypt and Pharaoh. And then Moses proceeds to give God all sorts of excuses about why he should not be the guy for that job. And we talked a little bit about that. There are actually 5 excuses that Moses gives God. The last excuse, if you remember, was, oh Lord, just send someone else. He finally just throws up his hands because God, like every time, God equips him. Well, you can't speak well. God called me to go to Egypt to free these people, so I need to go. I mean, this tells me that Moses. Now, Aaron lives in Egypt still, so just take off. So he went. I acknowledge that God has spoken to me, and I'm just going to stay here. No, he believes it, and there's action to his belief. And so he goes out, and this is Mount Sinai, by the way, and throughout the Torah it also calls it Mount Horeb, but it's the same mountain. It's the same place where Moses saw the burning bush. This is the land of Midian, so it's in this wilderness that Moses has been living and keeping sheep. And so Moses and Aaron, and Moses told Aaron all saw a burning bush. Here's everything that Yahweh told me, the true living God. Here are the signs that he showed me. And there's some work that had to be done here. I don't know. They probably went and knocked on doors. Hey, you're like elder so-and-so, or tents maybe. sit here today like your belief is a bit deeper than that. Let me show you why. Like you believe in the existence of, I promise you, the chair that you're sitting in. You believe in the existence of it. It is present. It is there. There's an academic kind of knowledge. There's an experiential, yes, I believe. One thing, like there's also a belief that is also trusting. You trust. We live it out, and that's what God is calling from you as a family, you as an individual, us as a body, to be a people who put what we say we believe into action, to be a believing community. That's what Moses and Aaron both do, but not only that, it spreads. So they go, they gather, they're putting feet to what God has told them to do because of their faith. And Aaron spoke all the words that the Lord had spoken to Moses. Aaron becomes like Moses' mouthpiece, you might say, his priest, you might say. All of the priests of Israel, all the high priests are going to come directly from the line of Aaron. Aaron and Moses both were Levites, by the way. And he also did the signs in the sight of the people. We'll talk about the signs in a moment, but they performed these miracles for the people. These elders. When they had heard that the Lord had visited the people of Israel, talking about Moses. When we sing to the Lord, this is an expression of our faith. Assuming that we're worshiping with all of our heart. Community, the elders at least, they believe what Moses and Aaron are telling them. They respond in worship, and what it is that they believe, that God does care. God sees and knows about their slavery. He has compassion. He intends to do something about it, and He intends to rescue and deliver. history is unfolding before us. The economy is coming to a grinding halt everywhere. It's historic. That we expect them to. People lose it. Just imagine what happens when the Lord returns. You ain't seen nothing. We should be a believing community. No matter the trial. What we're seeing this week is a great example of we should be a believing Jesus no matter the trial. And I realize you might be actually going through a trial. But we are to walk faithfully, trusting, not captured by fear. Choose faith the most over our fears. And so don't give over to fear. It is opposed to faith. Trust in the Lord and put action burning bush at Mount Sinai, and they perform the signs in sight of the people. There's good reason. Eventually, Pharaoh. These are like miraculous. Pharaoh's going to let us go. They're going to say, Moses, you're crazy. So God gave him some miraculous Okay. And so Moses, this snake, scares Moses. Part of the snake. So Moses, in faith and obedience, picks up the snake by the tail, and what happens to what was once a snake? It turns right back into a staff. Whoa. It's a miracle. Yahweh is the one who defeats Satan. We're told in Genesis 3:15 that it will be the Messiah who will, boom, stomp on the head of Satan and crush him. We're told when the people of Israel rebelled in the desert in Numbers that God, to punish them, sent a plague of venomous snakes into the camp, and they were just going crazy on everybody, and everybody was afraid. And God told Moses to fashion, sounds weird, but a bronze snake and attach it to a pole. And a lot of people would agree that this maybe had the shape of a cross, perhaps. Maybe not. There's no way to prove that for sure. But he tells them deliver and defeat And then God says, put your hand back in your cloak, and so he does, and pull it out again, and his hand is fine. It is totally healed. This is the second sign. Sin and cleanses sin, forgives sin, washes sin away, heals sin. One who defeats the snake, defeats Satan. He's the one that forgives and cleanses and heals sin. This ultimate fulfillment will come at the cross of Jesus. Wrath for the things that we do and think and say and on and on. Cross that he ultimately defeats sin, cleanses sin, heals sin. And then the third, I am the one who actually provides life for people. It comes from me. We know that it's all defeated, and that is the way that we can wonderful signs seem weird to us, but there's actually solid evidence to believe these signs unfold. Pharaoh, who will eventually see them and reject them. But even for us today, as we look back, eternal destiny. He cares, and he cares about your sin, that it ought to be forgiven. He cares about your life. He wants to defeat Satan for you on your behalf. He wants to rescue and deliver. God calling us to be a believing community and you to be a member of that, the choice is yours. When it comes to God providing evidence, but you still must step out on faith to follow that evidence, the choice is yours. Because shortly after this, actually right after this, hey Pharaoh, thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, let my people go, those famous words, that they may hold a feast, to me in the wilderness. We're getting out of here. You can also choose to do nothing with it. Or you could choose to follow through. Pharaoh, he chooses to reject it outright. It's at this point that Pharaoh says, okay, now you guys have to double your... Sorry. Yeah. Security, get him out of here. Actual action, trusting in, which leads to life, as opposed to a path of destruction